Hi, I'm Ben Fried. I'm here with our Ypsilanti reporter Matt Durr to chat a little bit about the aftermath from Tuesday's elections in the city of Ypsilanti and the surrounding areas. So, Matt, for you, what was the biggest thing that came out of Tuesday night's election? Obviously, everyone had a long ballot. There was a lot going on there, but what was the big thing that's going to change Ypsilanti the most moving forward?
Well, I think Brian Robb being reelected in Ward 3 was a big deal. We knew we were going to have two new members with Amanda Edmonds coming on as mayor and Nicole Brown or Sigrid Melvin in Ward 1. I think with Tyler Weston not being able to unseat Brian, it kind of sets a precedent of people in Ward 3 are looking for change, but they think Brian was the best bet right now. I think if Tyler would have been able to win the seat, it would have done a lot to kind of push forward Amanda Edmonds' agenda. But we'll see going forward how these sides work together now that they're forced to get in there and come up with some ideas.
What are some of those things on the Amanda Edmonds agenda that now that she's officially elected as mayor, you see her starting to try to implement?
Well, when I spoke to her last night, she said she was pretty excited to hit the ground running. It's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, to get caught up on some of the nuts and bolts on what's going on day to day in Ypsilanti. But she's been really big about having more boots on the ground, more people kind of out in the community, and getting more of an idea of what the people want. So it's not just 7 members of council dictating what's going to happen. And she's also really excited, they've got the vacancy for Ward 2, filling that seat. She's really excited about establishing the process of how they're going to fill that seat and how council can work to find the best candidate in the ward.
Were there any specific initiatives that she's hoping to try to start right away? Obviously talking to people to get what they want, but did she come in with any ideas of her own that we're going to start seeing moving quickly through council?
I don't think it's going to happen right away. They still need to find that next council member. I think because there's been so much talk about building a team and getting everyone on the same page, they're really going to want to figure out who that 7th member is, and then they can start talking about goals and ideas and how they want to address getting to the end product there.
So more governing by consensus.
Yes.
So then another big thing that happened that's in the Ypsilanti area but involved all of Washtenaw County was the election for Washtenaw County Community College, the Board of Trustees. There were some tight races there. Can you tell us who came out on top?
Well, Ruth Hatcher, a former teacher and faculty union president, she ran away with one of the seats, and Christina Fleming, a student at WCC, was far and away ahead of the other candidates. What was interesting is Mark Freeman, who's an incumbent, he lost by just 57 votes to David DeVarty, who is another person who takes classes at the college. He's been involved in politics in the area for a long time. It's really interesting that 57 votes separated them, and there were over 1,100 write-ins for that race. So if those people maybe just decided to pick someone on the ballot, it could have changed things tremendously.
Now, I know that there's been some tension or some questions about Roseblanca with the faculty council. She seems to have had the support of the trustees thus far. They just gave her an extension.
Yeah.
Were any of the elected candidates, anyone who spoke out for or against Blanca? Is this something that should change the way that, or will change the way she deals with the Board of Trustees?
Well, I think all 3 that were elected have said in the past that they want to see change on the way things are done on the board, and they want to improve the relationship between administration, not just Blanca, but administration at the college and the faculty and the board. I think Ruth Hatcher, being a former faculty union president, is really going to make a difference on how that message is communicated across the college. It's kind of interesting, the last meeting before the election, the board extended Blanca's contract, like you said, and Mark Freeman voted for that extension. I don't know if there's any way to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised if that swayed enough people where maybe if he would have voted against that contract, he would not have lost his seat.
All right, well, thanks so much for chatting with us, Matt, and we look forward to seeing what happens in Ypsilanti over the next few weeks and months.
It's going to be interesting.
All right.